2023-2024 season. It's been a pretty exciting and eventful season, all things considered, and I do plan on doing more tables for the other leagues. But there's still a few things that need to wrap up, such as playoff promotions and things like that. So for now, we're just going to do the Premier League. As always, we start at the bottom. And finishing at the bottom of the league, they won 3 matches. They drew 7. They lost 28. They had a negative 16 goal differential and only 16 points. Legitimately has to be perhaps one of the worst Premier League campaigns of all time. We have Sheffield United. They're the only club on this list where all of their final 6 games are all losses. Only club to finish with fewer than 20 points, and they have a goal differential that is more than 30 goals against worse than the 19th place team. They're the only club that allowed more than 100 goals against. They said this has to be perhaps one of the all-time worst Premier League teams, this 2023-2024 Sheffield United side. In 19th place with 5 wins, 9 draws and 24 losses. They have a negative 37 goal differential and 24 points. We have Burnley. And our final relegation spot with 6 wins, 8 draws, and 24 losses. They had negative 33 goal differential and 26 points. We have one of the big stories of the season. Luton Town. And I don't know if this is the first ever time it happened. Based on the way it was being spoken about, this might be the first or one of the first. It's an extremely rare occasion. The 3 clubs that were all promoted last season are all going back down to the championship. Just an absolutely wasted season for them. And I think Luton Town might be facing some punishment, financial punishment thing like that. I don't know. Something interesting, but 17th place, our first non-relegated side. And what's crazy is what this club went through and still not being relegated. 9 wins, 9 draws, 20 losses, a negative 18 goal differential. So we're getting a bit better here. A pretty big jump. I mean, that's a huge jump. That's a pretty big jump. 32 points overall. We have Nottingham Forest, and I believe that they did have a points deduction as well. So they had a points deduction, and they still didn't get relegated, which might end up being a theme. In 16th spot, our first double-digit wins team. 10 wins, 9 draws, 19 losses, a -9 goal differential. That's pretty good. That's better than some of the clubs ahead of them. 39 points, 3 wins in the final 6 matches. That's pretty good as well. We have Brentford. The 15th spot. 13 wins, 9 draws, 16 losses, a -11 goal differential, 40 points. It looked like at a certain point in this season, a couple months back, they might be a relegation candidate. But their form in the final 6, as you can see, they got a draw and 4 wins. The final 6. And that is Everton. And this is a team that was also facing a points deduction. So both teams that have points deductions survived. And to be honest, I'm not really sure how Nottingham Forest survived at a certain point. I was convinced they were going down. These historically bad teams down here in the bottom 3 are the only reason Nottingham Forest is staying up. Now we come to the 14th spot. A team that I do not like to see in this spot. I would like to see them a little bit higher. Not for any personal reasons, but they're a friend of mine's favorite Premier League team. But here at 14, 13 wins, 7 draws, 18 losses, -15 goal differential, 46 points, 1 win, and 5 losses in the final 6 games. That's actually crazy. That's such a bad run of form. They could have easily been 10th if they just did one more win in there. And that is Wolves. The Wolverhampton Wanderers here at 14th. Just ahead of them. Both of them, the better goal differential, 13 wins, 8 draws, 17 losses, -6 goal differential, 47 points, 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws. In the last 6 matches, we have the residents of Craven Cottage themselves, Fulham. First I said Kratom, then I said Craven College. Just completely missed that. Fulham is your 13th place team. In 12th. Scoot that over. In 12th, your first of 2 teams who finished with 48 points. Although they had a worse goal differential, 13 wins, 9 draws, 16 losses, -13 goal differential. In 12th place, we've got Bournemouth. And our other 48-point club, -7 goal differential, 12 wins, 12 draws, 14 losses. We have Brighton and Hove Albion. Brighton and Hove Albion. They're your place. Now we come into the top 10. The top 10. This club had a great run of form. 5 wins in the last 6. And I have to say, their new manager has completely turned them around. From where they were last season, I think next season they could finish perhaps even in the top 8, maybe the top 6, but this is a team I think with a bright future. They had 13 wins, 10 draws, 15 losses, only a -1 goal differential. Down here, obviously a great run of form to end the season. And that is Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace, they had their turnaround from last season is really nice to see, because that's a team that I do quite like. I don't have any rooting interest in the Premier League, as I've said on previous occasions. But there's a few teams I like. I like Crystal Palace. I like Brighton. I like Aston Villa. I don't root for them, but I like to see them do well. Here in 9th place, 14 wins, 10 draws, 14 losses, a -14 goal differential, and a bad run of form to end the season. Ends at 52 points. We have West Ham. I do remember I was making my predictions for how I thought the Premier League season would end. West Ham is one of the teams that is disappointed where I made that prediction. I thought they'd finish a little bit higher, and I thought they'd cause some trouble maybe for the top 3 going down the stretch, but they ended the season fairly inconsequentially. Now we come to a team here in the 8th spot. It is the lowest finish for this club since the 1989-1990 season. That's before it was even called the Premier League. All the way down here in 8th we have Manchester United. And Man United feels like right now they're kind of taking the mantle of Banter Club. The last few years before this it had been Arsenal, but now with Arsenal being so strong the last 2-3 seasons, Manchester United being down where they've gone, they're kind of, in my opinion, taking the Banter Club crown away from Arsenal. But down here at 8th, I guess they've not had a finish this bad in 40 years. 30 years. More than 30 years, yeah. Almost 40. But just, yeah. If you're a Manchester United fan, you hope this is rock bottom before you can start your ascent, but we'll see. But only a -1 goal differential is promising. And 3 wins in the last 6, but still not where you want to be. Especially with this team here ahead of you with the resources now available to them. 18 wins, 6 draws, 14 losses as well. But a 24 goal differential difference over 8th place. And here in 7th we have Newcastle United. Their financial takeover not yet appearing to be as consequential as some other clubs has been. Perhaps a top 3 team. But Newcastle United finishes 7th. 6th, a spot that, honestly, I didn't think they would make it to. As you can see, they ended the season in amazing form. 5 wins and 1 draw in their final 6 matches. This is a team that I predicted to be down here in this 8 to 12 range at one point, but their end of the season run has kept them here in the top 6. And that is Chelsea. I think they just miss out on Europe. Yeah, because there's 4 Champions League spaces and then a Europa League space because the differential or whatever it is between the leagues. So they just miss out on Europe here. just be especially frustrating for them seeing the run of form here for the team who claims that Europa League spot. Only 3 more points with 66, 13 goal differential, 20 wins, 6 draws, 12 losses. Now, Tottenham Hotspur, they end here at 5th. This is a team, in my prediction video, I said that I thought they would end up beating one of, because I believe they played like in a row, or pretty close to in a row, Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool. At least 2 of those teams, but I think they played all 3, Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool. And I said in the video, they're gonna lose, or I said they're gonna win one of those, and they're gonna, cause an issue in that, at the top of the table. That just simply didn't happen. They lost to Man City, they lost to Liverpool, and they lost to Arsenal. So the thing that I explicitly said I thought was gonna happen, like, oh, Tottenham is good enough, they'll beat one of those sides and throw a wrench into the top 3. They lost all 3 of them. And then obviously you have that sort of controversial thing happening where they're playing Manchester City, and there's like fans who were happy when Manchester City scored goals because that kept Arsenal from winning the league, things like that. I'm not gonna get into all that, honestly. I have my own opinions, but just kind of interesting to me how they didn't get a single win out of any of those clubs, and I thought they'd at least get one there. But now we come to our first Champions League spot here in 4th place, a team that I am ecstatic to see finish the season in this spot, do as well as they have. 20 wins, 8 draws, 10 losses, 68 points, 15 goal differential, 2 wins, 2 losses, 2 draws in the last 6. We've got Aston Villa. Like I said, I don't root for any of these teams, but they're a team that I like. So seeing them there in the top 4, knowing that they're gonna get Champions League football, that's pretty exciting for me. And now we come to a disappointing. Now, in my predictions video, I predicted who I thought my top 3 would be. So in my prediction video, I thought 3rd would be Man City. I thought 2nd would be Liverpool. I thought 1st would be Arsenal. Obviously, I got all of those wrong. But Liverpool, the way they ended the season, obviously they get a win in Klopp's final game earlier today. So that's all well and good. But before that, like these draws here, this loss, the way they were playing in other competitions, it just felt, the vibes on the team just felt weird. And as soon as I made that prediction video, it's kind of like, oh, I don't know, this Liverpool squad. So they end up in 3rd. 24 wins, 10 draws, 4 losses, 82 points. And then here, as you can see, wins in all of the last 6. So this came down to the final game day. But look at this jump. You have 15 in 4th place. You have a goal differential of 30 when you jump to your 3rd spot, and then 18 more for your top 2, both with 62. Just crazy the amount of goals being scored. Like it's pretty much like this is its own league, and this is its own league, and like this is its own league. It's just the lack of parity is kind of insane right now in the Premier League. It's a league of haves and have-nots, it feels like, or like haves, have-nots, have-nothings, and then like its own stratosphere up here. But in in second, 28 wins, 5 draws, 5 losses, 89 points, perfect in the last 6. We have got Arsenal, which means that with 28 wins, 7 draws, 3 losses, and again a positive 62 goal differential, 91 points, winning the league for the historic 4th time in a row. The only English club to ever win the league 4 times in a row. Manchester City. It is 4 in a row, right? I'm not just making that up because I know Liverpool got their one. Hold on, am I just completely... Am I just completely making that up? Excuse me, I usually cut this thing out, but this feels a little bit short, so maybe. Yeah, Manchester City are the first men's team in English football history to win the top league in 4 consecutive seasons. So, yeah. Wow, I can't believe Liverpool's win was already more than 4 years ago. It felt more recent than that. Anyways, there is your final Premier League table. Top to bottom, Manchester City, Arsenal, Liverpool, Aston Villa, Tottenham Hotspur, Chelsea, Newcastle United, Manchester United, West Ham United, Crystal Palace, Brighton Hove Albion, Bournemouth, Fulham, Wolves, Everton, Brentford, Nottingham Forest, Luton Town, Burnley, Sheffield United. I also saw this thing saying that for the first time since 1992, Manchester United are not the best United in English football. Again, perhaps rock bottom for them. Time for them to bounce back. Anyways, I do hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know what you thought of this Premier League season. I'll definitely be doing these similar sorts of videos next year as well, of course. If you liked the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more content just like this almost every single day.